living man, woman, hereby submit this notice to rebut the following presumptions and assumptions which may be made by the court or any legal authority in relation to my person and this matter. Notice of rebuttal of presumptions and claim of rights. Y. Your full name. I do not consent to any presumption of jurisdiction over my person or property, unless specifically proven by lawful authority in alignment with the following points. 1. Rebuttal of public record presumption. I operate in a private capacity and declare that no assumptions should be made concerning my legal status as a public entity. Any public record that implies otherwise is void without my explicit, informed consent. 2. Rebuttal of consent to jurisdiction. I do not consent to the jurisdiction of this court or any bar-affiliated entity. My presence or response in this matter is not to be construed as voluntary submission to the court's jurisdiction, but rather as a special appearance for the sole purpose of challenging jurisdiction. 3. Rebuttal of trustee role. I reject any presumption that the court or state acts as trustee over my affairs. I am the executor, trustee, and beneficiary of my own estate and private affairs. 4. Rebuttal of corporate personhood. I am a living man, woman, and do not consent to be recognized as a corporate person or legal fiction created by the state. I act in my own sovereign capacity, separate from any corporate or statutory constructs. 5. Rebuttal of statutory jurisdiction. I challenge the applicability of statutory jurisdiction in this matter. I reserve all rights and claim that I am subject to natural common law, not statutory law, unless proven otherwise by competent evidence of voluntary consent. 6. Rebuttal of contractual obligation. I have no valid or voluntary contract with the state or any corporate entity that grants this court or its officers jurisdiction over me or my property. Any such claim must be proven with signed and voluntary consent. 7. Rebuttal of custody, bailment, presumption. I do not consent to being placed in custody or subject to any form of bailment without proven lawful authority. I am a free, living individual and retain all rights to my liberty unless lawfully proven otherwise. 8. Rebuttal of political status. I do not consent to being identified as a statutory citizen subject to state or federal regulations. My status is that of a sovereign individual, and any assumption otherwise must be proven by competent evidence. 9. Rebuttal of legal representation. I am competent to represent myself in this matter, sui juris, and reject any presumption that I require legal representation by any member of the bar or other legal entity. My interests are represented solely by myself, and I retain all rights in doing so. 10. Rebuttal of guilt or submission through silence. I reject any assumption that silence or failure to respond constitutes agreement or submission. I reserve my right to timely rebut any claims made against me and assert my full rights to due process. 11. Rebuttal of guardian, parens patria doctrine. I reject any claim by the state to act as my guardian or fiduciary under the parens patria doctrine. I am fully competent to manage my own affairs and require no such intervention. 12. Rebuttal of state ownership of estate. I claim full ownership and control over my estate, including all property and assets, and reject any presumption of state ownership or control over them. Any claim to the contrary must be proven through competent, lawful evidence. Reservation of rights. I reserve all rights at law, equity, and natural law, including the right to challenge any presumptions and defend against any unlawful jurisdiction over my person or property. I do not waive any rights by submitting this notice. Notice to agent is notice to principal. Notice to principal is notice to agent.